You get a good look at this fella?
Yeah. He was, about your height.
Mm-hmm.
Your weight. Come to think of it, he kind of looked like you.
Looked like me. So he was good looking?
No. Sorry, just not my...
When it comes to Hollywood legends, few names carry as much weight as Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts. Both are revered not only for their immense talent, but also for the charisma and chemistry they bring to every role. So when the two were cast together in the 1993 legal thriller The Pelican Brief, fans naturally expected sparks to fly both on screen and off. Adapted from John Grisham's best-selling novel, the film paired Roberts' idealistic law student, Darby Shaw, with Washington's tenacious reporter, Gary Grantham. Yet one surprising omission left audiences talking for decades. The two never shared a kiss. What seemed like an obvious romantic payoff was deliberately avoided by Washington himself. His refusal to film the scene stemmed from a deeply personal and principled reason that sheds light on race, representation, and Hollywood's complicated past. The missing kiss in The Pelican Brief.
A little-known secret about that scene, the two-time Oscar winner actually declined to kiss Julia in the movie because he feared upsetting his fan base of black women.
Denzel Washington avoided kissing her, and I remember this movie. It was The Pelican Brief. There should have been maybe like a kissing scene somewhere. You can kind of feel it. They're getting really close. This was back in 1993. Now, he avoided kissing her. Now, there was a theory back then that Denzel did not want to upset his fan base. His fan base, black women. So he did not want to be seen as kissing a white woman because he said, and this is exactly what he said, black women are not often seen as objects of desire on film, and they've always been my core audience. So he had to say, sorry, Julia, can't kiss you because I don't want to upset a group of people.
When The Pelican Brief hit theaters in December 1993, audiences were captivated by the thrilling plot, stylish direction, and magnetic performances from two of the biggest stars of the decade. Julia Roberts, riding high after Pretty Woman and Steel Magnolias, played Darby Shaw, a sharp law student who uncovers a conspiracy linking the assassination of two Supreme Court justices to a powerful oil tycoon. Denzel Washington, fresh from Malcolm X, portrayed Gary Grantham, an investigative journalist determined to help Darby expose the truth. Their partnership crackled with tension and trust, setting the stage for what should have been a natural romantic progression. In John Grisham's novel, the two characters do share a romantic relationship, complete with the kind of intimacy that Hollywood audiences had come to expect from big-screen adaptations. Yet in the film, the element was noticeably absent. While the chemistry between the leads was undeniable, the closest the audience got to a romantic resolution was an affectionate look during a televised interview near the end of the movie. Julia Roberts later confirmed that the omission wasn't an oversight or creative choice by the director, it was Denzel's request. Speaking to Newsweek, Roberts revealed her frustration. Quote, I have taken so much shit over the years about not kissing Denzel in that film, she said. Don't I have a pulse? Of course I wanted to kiss Denzel. It was his idea to take the damn scenes out. Her words struck a chord with fans who couldn't understand why two of Hollywood's most attractive stars would deliberately avoid such a moment. Yet Washington's reasoning wasn't about ego or discomfort, it was about principle and experience. His decision harkened back to an incident a few years earlier, one that shaped his outlook on how audiences perceived interracial relationships on screen. In the 1989 film The Mighty Quinn, Washington shared a romantic storyline with white actress Mimi Rogers. Though the film was lighthearted and charming, test audiences reacted negatively to a scene where the two shared a kiss. The backlash was so intense it left Washington shaken, leading him to ask the studio to remove the kiss entirely. Racial barriers and audience reactions.
Back when that happened, I absolutely remember, and all the black women knew that's exactly what had happened. And it was, we weren't being shown in that light as, you didn't see black women in film as objects of desire or leading ladies. So being that I really appreciated that Denzel Washington came and said that, because we were his fan base, and fan base equals your money.
For Denzel Washington, the experience during The Mighty Quinn was a painful reminder of Hollywood's racial double standards. Despite his growing fame, he was acutely aware of the industry's reluctance to portray black men as romantic leads, especially opposite white women. What disturbed him wasn't just the studio's reaction, but the audience's. When the interracial kiss appeared during early screenings, viewers booed. This reaction reflected the lingering discomfort among some moviegoers with seeing black male intimacy portrayed in mainstream cinema. In an interview reflecting on that moment, Washington explained that he never wanted to alienate his core audience, particularly black women who had supported his career from the beginning. He once remarked that, quote, black women are not seen as objects of desire on film, and he didn't want to contribute to a culture that sidelined them by continually portraying interracial romances. His decision to avoid romantic scenes with white actresses was therefore both a protest and an act of loyalty. By the early 90s, Washington had already emerged as one of the most respected actors of his generation. Yet, even as his star power soared, he navigated an industry that pigeonholed black actors into roles devoid of sensuality or romantic complexity. Leading men like Cary Grant and Harrison Ford could sweep any woman off her feet. But Washington faced a different kind of scrutiny. His roles in Glory and Malcolm X were powerful and dramatic, yet romance was rarely central to his character arcs. This pattern wasn't accidental. It was reflective of what Hollywood studios thought audiences were comfortable with. When the Pelican Brief entered production, Washington knew the optics of an interracial romance between him and Roberts would draw more attention than the film's actual story. While Roberts herself was eager to follow the romantic arc from Grisham's book, Washington had experienced firsthand how these moments could overshadow an entire film. The legacy of the Pelican Brief's decision. The absence of a romantic resolution in the Pelican Brief didn't diminish the film's success, but it did leave a lasting curiosity among fans and critics. Many wondered if the lack of a kiss was a missed opportunity or a masterstroke of restraint. Roberts later told Entertainment Weekly that, for her, the emotional connection was still apparent. Quote, in slow motion, I put my head down with my cheeks pink, and that says it all to me. I think he's in love with her, she's in love with him. Her interpretation highlights that romance doesn't always require physical expression to be felt. Still, for years, the film became a talking point in discussions about race and representation in Hollywood. The decision reflected how even seemingly small choices in a script could reveal broader cultural tensions. Washington's choice wasn't about one movie, it was about the message it would send to audiences around the world. In later years, he continued to stand by this approach. During the filming of Virtuosity in 1995, he asked that a planned interracial kiss between him and white actress Kelly Lynch be cut. Quote, white men bring women to movies, he explained at the time, and they don't want to watch a black man with their woman. While the statement was blunt, it reflected the reality of the era, an acknowledgement that racial prejudice still influenced creative decisions at every level of filmmaking. This self-awareness became a hallmark of his career. Rather than being defined by controversy, he became known for his dignity and restraint, choosing roles that emphasize strength, intelligence, and morality. Changing times and the long road towards representation.
You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other. We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage. There's no law that says, oh, because I'm president, you all got to get along now. So it's up to us.
It's not color, it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're
Steven
in a space
Spielberg
right
did Schindler's List. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List, but they're cultural differences. You know, I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference.
In hindsight, Washington's decision seems both frustrating and understandable. By the early 90s, Hollywood was only beginning to reckon with issues of representation. Films that depicted interracial relationships often faced controversy or censorship, and many black actors were denied leading romantic roles entirely. Washington's personal code reflected his desire to protect his image and audiences' trust, even if it meant sacrificing certain opportunities. Yet times changed. In 2012, he appeared in Robert Zemeckis' Flight, where he portrayed a deeply flawed pilot struggling with addiction and guilt. The film included a romantic subplot with white actress Kelly Riley, and this time Washington didn't shy away from the on-screen kiss. By then, society had evolved enough that such a moment no longer caused outrage, though it still generated considerable discussion. The Washington Post even ran an article dissecting the significance of the kiss, proof that even decades later, Hollywood's racial boundaries were still being examined. Interestingly, his decision also sparked conversations within the black community about representation and desirability. Many black women viewed Washington's stance as an act of respect, a refusal to perpetuate the Hollywood trend of pairing successful black men with white women on stage while sidelining black actresses. In interviews, actresses like Angela Bassett and Halle Berry later noted that Washington's consistency gave them opportunities to take on more complex romantic roles themselves. The real-life bond between Washington and Roberts.
It began, though this is not just a case of humble beginnings and working hard, there are some who have a gift. And then there are those who have a gift who are further propelled by people who believe in them. And such is the case for Denzel Washington.
Despite the lack of a kiss in the Pelican Brief, the friendship between Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts flourished on and off set. Roberts frequently praised Washington's professionalism and focus, calling him one of the most generous actors she'd ever worked with. Their chemistry was undeniable, even without romance, which is why audiences continued to feel their connection long after the credits rolled. Roberts later reflected on the bond, saying, quote, "And over time, Roberts admitted that while she was initially disappointed about removing the kiss, she came to respect Washington's reasoning." Now it's time to hear from you. Do you agree with Denzel Washington's decision not to kiss Julia Roberts? Let us know in the comments section below.